Joining me on the program now from Barnabas Aid, Stephanie Johnston. Kia ora, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, it's great to be here again. I love talking about these stories because this is more of a hope-filled story
Yeah.
rather than the other stories we share that are quite hard. This one is more of a not necessarily a praise report, but watching and seeing what we're doing in areas where poverty, hunger, and marginalization are the first and foremost ways that Christians struggle. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this country.
And it is the case that if there is a country which there's poverty, there's famine, that particularly Christian minorities within that community, they're not doing so well. They don't have access to the drinking water, to the resources,
Yeah.
to some of the government support. That's where Barnabas Aid comes in.
Yeah, we had one of our the people on the ground had to actually dig his own well
Wow.
because there was just the scarcity of water and he had to dig his well on his own. And then when you do that, you're not really sure about how clean the water is as well. So we're talking about today a country called Ghana, which is in the west coast of Africa.
Yep.
Borders are Burkina Faso, which is one of the worst places to be a Christian, the Ivory Coast, that area. And the funny part about this country in Ghana is that you've got the southern part that is very wealthy and tourism and people go there and it's quite nice.
They've got a
And
great
then
football
the
team, for
north,
example. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there you go. But in northern Ghana, it's really hard to be a Christian there because you've got the poverty and you've got the hunger and the basic needs just aren't there. So even some southern Ghanaians won't even go far north because of the fact that the roads aren't very good. It's hard to travel there. The roads are unsafe. There's corruption, difficulty just obtaining basic necessities that you would use. And so even people from southern Ghana don't go to northern Ghana.
But hey, Barnabas Aid, working with your partners, you're there. You're there helping people that are trying to dig their own wells, and it's supporting basically subsistence farmers to have a little bit more resilience when it comes to the types of farming that they're doing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're trying to help them with some long-term income. And one of the things that we're doing as an organization is, we help the persecuted church, but we also help suffering Christians in general.
Yeah.
And Ghana is one of those places where Christians are suffering. And so what we've decided to do is, well, if I can backtrack a little bit, at the beginning of 2025, we created this initiative and a pretty ambitious target as well of providing 1 million pigs, 1 million chickens, and then 1 million um, IT containers, so to speak. So, what
Wow.
I'm going to talk about today is the million pigs that we're helping to provide. And we just did the first 60 pigs that are going to Ghana and helping 22 missionaries in the northern part of the country. And so we're pretty stoked about that. One, because it provides income.
Hmm.
Two, because it provides safety.
Yep.
One of the issues that they have in Ghana is snake bites.
Okay.
So random.
Yep.
And pigs actually eat snakes. Who knew?
Pigs eat
Who knew
anything,
there was?
right? Including
Yeah, that's
snakes.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. And not that that's gonna, it's not gonna be the end of snake bites
No,
because
no,
we
no.
provided these 60 pigs, but at the same time, it's another safety precaution, and it's money. We sell the pigs by the weight, not by the pig, and
Yep.
so in a few months they're gonna have 200 piglets to share around.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
That is very cool indeed. And I suppose from there, I mean, 1 million is a big number. 60 is a good start, but a long way to go in that regard. But I suppose
I
this is
said it
the.
was
It
ambitious.
was ambitious, but I mean, here's the thing: if you've got a couple of pigs, if you've got a breeding pair of pigs, the multiplication takes care of itself in some ways.
It definitely does. And then when that happens, that's more money for these missionaries and these Christian families to provide for themselves, to have drill boreholes, purchase medical supplies, send their kids to school. I mean, the things that can happen out of just these pigs
Yeah.
is pretty substantial.
That is fantastic. And these people that you're helping, I mean, they're not necessarily pig farmers. Well, they are now. But they're actually doing mission work. They're missionaries. They're part of the church community in northern Ghana.
Yeah, that's right. We're helping the pastors and the missionaries. So all in all, about 22 families. And what this does is, the missionaries there aren't making buckets of money.
No.
They make very little, and so something like providing them with a pig helps them to be able to do the ministry that they are called to do, and also feed their families.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing, what if you think about it, what a pig can do and how it's helping Christians in places like Ghana.
That is absolutely fantastic. More pork, less snakes, and income for missionary families in northern Ghana. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, people can find out more about this and the other projects that you're involved with. Of course, if people wanted to connect with that work, Stephanie, what's the best way of doing so?
Yeah, we're actually doing something to help with this. So in New Zealand, we're doing a fundraising effort
Okay.
called Barnabas Brekkies, or it could be Barnabas Brunch or Barnabas Bry or Barnabas Sausage Sizzle. But the
Yeah,
idea is providing pigs and chickens, so sausage and eggs,
yeah, yeah,
and or bacon and eggs, whatever your flavor is. And
yeah.
then you invite your friends and family over or your
Okay.
church, and you host a Barnabas Brekkie, and then it helps us to reach that ambitious goal of 1 million pigs. We just had a young high school student and her friends do a breakfast that brought in over 200 or $2,600
Man.
to provide pigs. And so this is one of the initiatives we're doing. And if you want to find out more about that, jump on our website, look for Barnabas Brekkie, and away you go.
Hey, super good stuff indeed. You had me at bacon.
Same.
BarnabasAid.org is the place to go, and just look for Barnabas Brekkie there. Stephanie, thanks for what you do. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Andrew.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.